Okay, folks, good afternoon, and welcome to this 20-year bond auction and 10-minute trades trader. Okay, folks, good afternoon. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10-minute trades, and welcome to this 20-year bond
Please remember
auction
that all
and 10-minute
trades
trades
that we
trader.
discuss
Okay,
are for
good
educational
afternoon.
purposes.
My name is
It
Lee
possible
Goldstein.
to
I'm the
lose
trading
money
director
trading
at
futures,
10-minute
so trade
trades,
carefully,
and welcome
please.
to this 20-year bond.
Please
I'd like to
remember
welcome
that
our
all
friends on
new
10-minute
trades
trades
that
that
we
we
discuss
discuss. You can give us a like, hit the notification bell so you know the next time we're going to be here streaming. And of course, sign up for the channel. So, something interesting. Something interesting about the bond report, especially this one, I think. Let's look at the results first. Okay, last month we got stopped out. And it was a weird, very late report. So I don't think anything could have saved us. I probably would not have stayed in a trade until 4 minutes after because it's just not normal. Now you can see there was a normal, what seemed to be a regular normal fill, although I don't see any reason anymore to use a 2-tick bracket. I will be using a 3-tick bracket no matter what. I'd rather not get filled on this trade. I don't know about you, but I don't need to sit in a flat trade with no movement when I could have been not in the trade. Now, nothing could have saved. Now, I take it back. Something could have saved this trade. And that's what I wanted to discuss. So if you look at the fill was at 0-0 for me. And I got stopped out, right, on the downside. It went to 27. A 4-tick stop, and you would have had an amazing trade. Keep that in mind because you can use a 4-tick stop if you want to. You can do what you want, right? You are going to risk another $30 and $31.25 a contract. So you have to understand that and accept that. But it's always easy to look back and find the perfect setup. But how many times do we look back and adjust our stop and adjust our target to prevent a bad trade? It's not like we're making a radical adjustment. We're making a pretty small adjustment because it clearly looks like in this particular report, the news was late. The real release was at 4 minutes after. And there was no news showing up on investing.com either, which helps to validate my theory on this particular trade. Okay. So it's possible, it's not guaranteed because you don't know what slippage is going to be, or it's not a guarantee you're going to get filled where I got filled or that I would get filled there a second time. But it appeared that on that trade, if you used a bracket of 3 and a stop of 4, you would have had a great winning trade. And in these markets, I said it last week when I got stopped out on the 10-year bond trade that I would not trade with 2-tick brackets. Now, if I get stopped with a 3-tick bracket, that's just a market that's too volatile to trade our style of this report. And that's life. But I'm not trading 2-tick brackets because it's too narrow. in these types of markets that we're in today. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. And it's not that this report is trading poorly, because it's not. If you look at February, or at least the DMM says it's not. Let's see what real life says. If you look at February, two-tick bracket, most of the time it's okay. But a three-tick bracket is not going to ruin your life. It might cause an occasional trade to lose. It might. But if you weigh that with catching a big winner, I'd rather have an occasional loser. Now, that trade was just, the move was so fast, it just didn't work. It hit my targets and put me back in the market. So, I mean, we made a whole bunch of money, but it was a really bizarre move because of the size and speed of the trade. That happens. We see it occasionally. That's one of the issues of event trading. If you're going to trade events, sometimes you're going to get a crazy positive slippage trade. Sometimes you're going to get a crazy negative slippage trade. That's the risk of trading events, and you have to be a grown-up about it. And if if one trade like that makes you quit, then you don't have the stomach to trade events anyway, so you shouldn't be trading events. I can't tell you, in the old days when natural gas was so insane to trade, how many times I was filled, stopped out on a whipsaw, and put back in the market because the move was so insane and so fast and so crazy. And I was using a different platform with a slower data feed. It was just beyond words. It was beyond words. Now, I'm just curious on this trade in January, which looks kind of dull. Let me see how much further it moved. I don't see the DMM being correct in January. It was a quick move, but it was a fill at the bottom of the candle, it looks like to me. So that was not a winner. So the question is, I don't know that the bracket would have saved you. So the fill 27 or 03. No, it would not have saved you. It doesn't look like, no. So sometimes you won't get saved from a bad fill. There's not much you can do about a bad fill. When you get a bad fill, you get a bad fill. It's nobody's fault. It is just sometimes what happens. And let's look at December, even though it was Christmas. A lot of people would not be trading this time of year because it was December 21st. I was trading because I'm a lunatic. I'll be the first to admit it. Yes, I'm a lunatic. That's my job, to be a lunatic. And You could see that December still worked. Okay, you were able to get a couple of ticks. Now, if you notice, in December, I was using my 3 ticks, okay? Not 2. They both would have worked. So it would have been a slightly better trade in that case if you used a 2-tick bracket. That will happen sometimes. What I'm trying to avoid, obviously, is not a winning trade ever. I'm trying to find the best median between the winners and the losers. And Chantal, are you here? Because I'm going to put you on the spot. You do so much testing. You look at the volatility of these markets. Would you use, and here's me putting you on the spot, would you use a 2-tick bracket or a 3-tick bracket on the bond auctions? On ZB, yes, on ZB. Don't get cute. Don't get cute. Or I'm going to fly to Canada and I'm going to zap you right in the nose. You're hesitating. 2 or 3. Come on. Seriously. Seriously. I can take it. I'm a grown-up. You're not going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. You've got markets that, look, even though the bonds, right at this moment, they're down. I probably have them set to a tick, okay? The bonds are set to a tick. Let me do a couple of housekeeping things real quick. Let me turn on my recorder. So you know how I preach all the time, don't crawl into a corner? Don't let it bother you. I've been in a corner all morning over that Canada trade, and I'm not getting out of the corner. What do you think about that? That's how much that trade bothered me. That trade has really bothered me. I'm still in the corner, crying in the corner. Anyway, I just want to turn on my recorder, and I want to check the time sync. We check our time sync by going to the website time.is, and it puts me in sync, hopefully. Okay. I hope everybody can hear me just fine. Nobody's... But if that's the case, Chantal, then we won't get filled. Because I'm already seeing movement, okay? I'm already seeing movement. Okay, bonds are ticks, so let's just see a 30-minute chart on bonds. Bonds had a bunch of volatility, but you got to go way back to yesterday morning at the open, after the open, 10 o'clock. Bonds have not been too crazy today, because that's a 30-minute chart, and they're not all that insane today. So look, I swore that in these markets, I would be using 3-tick brackets. When let's be honest also on something else. When I found this trade, I was the one who emailed the powers that be and said, we should be trading the 20-year bond auction. All of my testing was a 3-tick bracket. All of it. Let's look at November 18th. Very, very short video. You've got a 2-tick bracket, okay? And you know what? We weren't trading live then. The report was, this is a pretty new report. With this report, you're looking for the big move. Okay? Now, in this case, it filled in 2 ticks and gave you a great trade, but it did go 3. And it was in sim. But it never hit your stop. So that still was a winning trade. 2 or 3 tick fill. Chantal, the 30-year auction is a 3-tick bracket. You know that, right? This trade is more like the 30-year than the 10 or the 20. The 10 or the, what's the other one? The 10, 20, 30, 7. Thank you. The 7 and the 10, I think in these markets, all the bond trades are showing good movement. They're showing good movement. I swore in the room that I would not trade a 3-tick bond trade ever again. Now this is a 90-second cancel. I'll stake my job on a 3-tick bracket. You know why? Because I can. Now, the really interesting thing is, good question, is there anybody else trading it? Is I think that you can use a 4-tick bracket. Stop, I'm sorry. I think you can use a 4-tick stop. You have to be willing to risk it. And I'm not ready to do that today, but it's not an unreasonable
coming out from sources here
decision.
IRGC flew a drone over a carrier in the Gulf.
To use a 4-tick stop either. It's not unreasonable at all. That's the truth. It would have saved a very big trade. And that would make up for 2 or 3 little crummy ones where you just get a tick.
The GOP seeks to block China from buying land near military bases.
Entry time is 13:01:30. The breakout trade. So I'm just curious, what's everybody doing for their brackets, targets? Tell me what setup you're using. Mike always uses the stock DMM. Always. Always. That's Mike's policy, and he's going to live and die with it. Live or die with it. I'm not commenting one way or the other. Interesting, Fred. Fred is creative, and Mike, I'm not knocking you. You know I'm not. Everybody has their own style. I would say that Mike is more traditional, and that's not good nor bad. It is what he is. And Fred is a little bit more creative, is a little bit more outside the box. And it works for both of them. It works for both of them. So that's what's interesting. All right. So I'm making one slight trade change, and it's also because it's my trade. And I think it's going to test the high. I'll tell you, I went for a walk today and my back is killing me. I mean, killing me. I need like a shot of heroin. So fast. I'm going to have to hit the streets to buy some heroin and take a shot right after this trade. Oh, I'm on YouTube. I can't say that. YouTubers, I have a sense of humor, so you'll just have to forgive me. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding that my back is killing me, but I'm not going to hit the streets and get heroin. So if somebody actually thinks I'm serious, I'm not. Okay, setup. I'm using a 3 bracket, 1 target for 2 ticks, 1 target for 6 ticks, a stop of 3, and an entry time of 13:01:30. It's a 90-second cancel on this trade. 90-second cancel. That's a long cancel. Entry time 13:01:30 Eastern time. I'm up 20 miracle dollars today. 20 miracle dollars. I call that miracle dollars because I don't know how I got $20 out of that oil trade today. It was a miracle. That's the truth. That was a miracle. Canada, I will dream of Canada's bank rate statement maybe for the rest of my life. Maybe for the rest of my life, I'll be dreaming about today's Canada bank rate statement. Yeah, it's called Druggy. It's an app called Druggy, Mike. You dial Druggy and they bring you whatever you want to your house. It's like caviar. You know, pretty soon, no joke, you'll be able to order marijuana probably that way. Legal marijuana as it becomes legal in more and more states. The first person, Mike, we should make an app for it will be millionaires. Potsky. We'll call it Potsky. Potsky. And we will bring marijuana. Joshua, you can do that in Canada. You can order it to your house. No way. No way. I don't believe that. Yes. Wow. Wow. By an app? By an app? What's the app called? I don't want to get sued for using the same name. Dope Dash. Very good, Mike. I love that. I love that. That's great. That is excellent. Excellent. It's government. Okay. It's the government. All right. So if we get to the high, we need to break through the high for this to make money. Okay, we need to break through the high. Now remember, it's a 90-second cancel. But we don't really want to cancel if I don't hear that the news came out on financial juice. So I will tell you, I'll try to tell you when I hear the news come out. Because sometimes we wait and we wait and we wait, and we know the news hasn't come out.
Expected that one set of sanctions on Russia would immediately change their behavior.
Sometimes my train of thought gets thrown off when financial juice starts talking in my ear. You don't hear them, I assume. I wonder if I turn on a different system audio sound, whether or not you can hear them. We'll test that the next trade. So tomorrow, I'm just trading starting at 9:30. Now, that's a 2-tick move, okay? That's why I don't want to use a 2-tick bracket. Okay? I don't want to get filled early. I might still get filled early, but a 4-tick bracket is out of the question. It's too big. Unless all of a sudden these trades turn into ATM machines like they were 8 years ago or 7 years ago. We hear rumors, about these reports. There is quite a bit of volatility now. That's another tick. Okay, so we're watching. Watching the ZN. Also. And remember, it's 13:01:30. I always think it's 13:01 or 13:030 sometimes. Whenever I'm showing back the replays, I always get the time wrong. Dope Dash. That's hilarious. All right, we still got a minute and a half to go. 90-second cancel. It's a long cancel. See, that's another reason why maybe you need a 4-tick stop when you have a cancel that long. Because if you do get filled, then it's a coin toss. If you get filled early, it's a coin toss, right? All right, so we got 45 seconds and our orders will show up. $13.01. Fred, I'm sighing. All right. 13:01:30, our orders will show up on the charts. 90-second cancel.
Order submitted.
So that's 13:03, right? Is that right? 3 ticks is not very big.
Order submitted.
So today it was dull, folks. Today it was dull. And today it's going to cost me a stop out. Today it's going to cost me a stop out because a 2-tick target, right? 2-tick target, and I would have hit it. So that's me being a wise guy, right? I was being a wise guy with a 3-tick bracket. I still think that the 3-tick bracket, even though I'm going to get stopped out on this trade, still makes sense. It still makes sense.
US sells $24 billion of 20-year bonds at a high yield rate of 2.144% and awards 17.
And I'll take my punishment. I'll take my punishment.
20-year bond at 50 cover ratio 2-to-42.
Because I'm certain it's going to stop me out now. It would be a miracle if it didn't. You can just tell. I mean, I'm 1 tick away. Now, I've seen this trade do crazy things. But I think today...
Order filled.
Yeah, it's got me. So it would have hit the 2 target, right? Mike, did you hit your target? But I'm willing to take it. It didn't hit your 2-tick target, Mike? It didn't fill it? It did not fill it? Okay, let's take a look. So it filled at 08. You know what, Mike? It never, it didn't go high enough. You know what? It was a lousy fill also. There was a tick of slippage as well. And look, when you get a dull report like this, you're going to, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And it's not the end of the world, because the next trade, if it moves 7 or 8 ticks, I used the 2-tick target, Chantal. It didn't get there. I used the 2 and the 6. I used the 2 and a 6. I think it's a 2 and a 6, Chantal. It's a 2 and a 6. That's what I used. Target 2. It didn't get there. It didn't get there. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike, not a good day today, but we'll get him back. We'll get him back. All right, folks. Would not have hit the target anyway, so I didn't cause the loss with the bracket. And you'll see there will be a trade where that bracket will keep us safe, and then there will be a very big move, and it'll be worth 3 or 4 trades. 3 or 4 trades. I'm with you, Mike. I mean, there's going to be, I'm telling you, I'm finding some setups that in the next month or so are going to be very good. And you know, I'm laughing and I'm you know, moaning and groaning, but today's Canada is going to be a setup we're going to trade every month now, because this is the 4th month it's shown life. Whether there's a DMM created or not doesn't matter. We're going to trade it in the room. So also, we have a better way to trade US retail. We have a better way to trade US CPI. We have Canada jobs. We haven't been trading it. Anytime it trades by itself, we can trade that. So slowly but surely, we're building up more trades that are different from the ones that we've had that haven't been working well. And that's what you have to do. And sometimes it takes a little time. So it is all good. It is all good. But look how dull this report was today. Just no way to make money on it today. And that's the way it goes sometimes. You know, the news is out because it's on Financial Juice. It never showed up on investing.com, which happens. It is out on Financial Juice. But look at the dullness. You just didn't really have anything. It never made it to the high. And the high was only a 2-tick profit. So that will sometimes happen. You'll sometimes get a very minimal moving report. Now, sometimes gold has been moving on these bond trades. Not today, not last month, not when we did some testing either. So I don't think gold is worth trading. Nah, not enough move to make it worthwhile. All right, folks. I'll see everybody tomorrow. So the schedule's different tomorrow. Hey, Ed, you're in the room. You made it. You made it. Okay, good. Good. Tomorrow, 9:30, I am not having a trade room for 2 trades that I don't think are performing well. And I don't want people to lose money on them. So I'd rather trade a little bit less in difficult markets so that we can try to maximize our profits. So existing homes and natural gas tomorrow, 9:30, will be in the room. Okay, folks. And I'll definitely be sending an email about that too. So I'll see everybody later. Take care. See you all tomorrow.